In this revelation, I saw my own biological brother. He was sitting in regret. He did not make it to the rapture. We were not able to talk because he was in pain. He was just shaking his head and was unable to talk to me, though. He looked at me. I didn't ask him any question. Then I saw my cousin. His name is Francis. He was shocked and surprised but was unable to talk to me. Everybody who said they no longer believe in Jesus will receive the mark. I saw my brother, I saw my cousin, I saw myself, left behind for being ashamed of the gospel. I saw a man of God who was preaching, using the internet. He has his laptop on his feet. He was a black man, he was wearing a coat and he was having a big Bible in his hands at the other side. He was preaching through the laptop. He was using internet to preach. Every day, he would send messages but he did not make the rapture. I was shocked because to us, it is good for people to preach through the internet. It is good for people to send messages through the internet. But lo and behold, when I asked him, "Man of God, why didn't you make the rapture?" He said to me, "Because I use the internet to preach." I said, "But you are preaching through the internet." He said, "That is not one of the reason. The main reason is that I was ashamed to carry the Bible physically. I was ashamed to tell people about Jesus physically, so I saw it as a way of preaching to people, where people will not see my face and they will not know it is me talking, and I will preach to them, but I was ashamed of carrying the Bible." On that day, he had a big Bible but it was of no effect. I saw a pastor. I don't know his face but I can remember his face. If I see him today I will tell him, "I saw you that day, you did not make the rapture." He was a man of God. He held his Bible and I said, "Why didn't you make the rapture?" He said, "Because I preached false doctrine. I didn't really preach about Jesus. I didn't tell the people about sin and righteousness." I saw people who give heed to false doctrines. They were not the ones preaching it, they were not the one evangelizing it, but I saw them, because they just listen and give heed to false doctrine and practice them. They missed the rapture. In this world, we say, "It is our leader, it is our pastor, it is this," but on that day, they won't ask you who. They will torture you because you didn't make the rapture. I was shocked. These people didn't know anything. These people didn't preach the false doctrine. They just listen and believe, yet still they did not make the rapture. I saw the category of people, when the devil is ready to punish them. He punished them in threes. The chains that I saw, I have never seen it before on this earth, when they chain people together to drag them to the place of punishment. The chain will go right into their skin. They will tie people in threes together because people don't want to go to the place of punishment. They will drag them, they will cry, they will hold the ground, they will pull them with force, and I saw the devil punishing men before women. If he is taking the women for punishment, he will take one or two, but the men he will take many of them. So I asked him, "Satan, why are you taking men before women?" He looked at me and laughed, and laughed. He laughed, and he said, "Yes, because the women are weaker vessels. By the time I finish dealing with the men, all these women should have given yield unto me." And then, just as he has said, before he finished dealing with the men, the percentage of women that have yielded to Satan were many. We that remain, that still believe in Jesus, were like 1 or 3 to 100 of the women that yielded. Come and see the population of women forgetting about Jesus. I saw myself with a pregnant woman and another young lady. The three of us, we were standing in front of the devil, but I was the one asking him question. I said, "Devil, why are you so wicked?" He was laughing. He was happy. He was joyous that he has done this. At that time, I saw devil in his real form. As the Bible said, God used all precious things to make the devil. Yes, brethren, it is true. The devil is so beautiful. That is why he can attract anybody. When he speaks, people think they are listening to the right voice. If you see his skin, it is like milk, like butter. It is glittering like diamond. When he wants to do any bad or evil thing, he will transform himself into anything he wants to do. He will torture people. He will do all kind of things. Why I missed the rapture? I asked him, why did people didn't make the rapture? And then he laughed and said unforgiveness, secret sins, and he named all kinds of sin. And then I asked him, why didn't I make the rapture? Because I am a Christian. He looked at me and he was like saying to me, did you think I don't know? Unforgiveness, he said. You did not make the rapture because of unforgiveness. I said, me? He said yes, and as he said the word, I remembered clearly my pastor. He took me as his child, he loved me, he corrected me, he trained me, he was the first person that preached to me and I gave my life to Christ. But one day, he was angry with me. I didn't know what I did, but he later told me because my spiritual life was not strong. He was angry with me and he didn't talk to me because he has counseled me several times, and he told me to leave his house. Imagine an orphan with that pain and wound in my heart, how they have treated me bad, molested us and deceived us, and now, the only person I had trust in said to me, leave my house, you are no longer my child. In my heart, I became more wounded that nobody can tell me again that you are my child and I will believe. I said I will never, never forgive him for what he has done, yet I went down on my knees, begged him, I was crying, but yet in my heart I never forgive him until after I had this revelation. I forgive him totally. Now, I can call him Father again, I can talk to him with peace and clearness in my heart. The devil said to me, you never forgive the man of God, that is why you are here. Fornication. And then I said, is that all? He said, no, you are in secret sin. I said, me? Secret sin? He said yes. I said how? As I was asking how, I remembered clearly while I was in this earth before God showed me the rapture, I was in courtship with a brother in the church. The courtship was from God. It was not him that met me that he wanted to marry me, it was the church committee that asked me to pray, and when I prayed, I saw him and told our pastor and he said, yes, this is the brother that pray through you, not that he came to meet me and everything was going orderly. They have not announced the courtship in church, they called two of us and counsel us, to us, we think we are now husband and wife, we call each other, send messages to each other, we visited each other at night and we continue doing this until we committed fornication several times. After I had this revelation, the devil said, you missed rapture because of secret sins. To myself, I said, what will secret sin count to the punishment that I have seen, compared to the love God have for me to correct me now? I said it is better I go and report myself. I called him and said, this is what I have seen in the revelation. He went to the pastor and started confessing. The following day, I went to my pastor and told him. My pastor was so disappointed, and after we said everything, he himself began to cry that God should correct him. They took us to the church committee, punished us and banned the courtship. After the punishment and suspension, the pastor said we can continue, but for me, I am still praying, and he is still praying to God if we should continue. It is better I don't marry or I have a broken courtship now than to miss heaven compared to what I saw. It is better I lose him now. It is better I lose everything now than to lose heaven compared to what I saw that day and how God corrected me. Stealing. The devil also said, you also miss the rapture because of stealing. I said, are you talking about me? How can I steal? What is it that is so big to me? Because I grew up in a way that my mother will beat me for anything I steal, so besides spirituality I have that education. The devil said, yes, you are stealing. I said how? As he was saying it, I remembered the office I am working now. I am a cashier, we sell items, people buy items from us, it is a big office and I control the money. After the working days, they will calculate one after the other all the items we sold and the money will be balanced. I have never for once lost any money, but sometimes, people will leave their change or balance and it sums up to big amount of money. Instead of me giving the business, that, this is your money because it is not mine, I thought it was mine. I thought since I was the cashier, every change or balance people will leave is mine. It is not the money people give me as gift and say take, but the money people gave up and said no problem because there was no balance to pay them. It was the office money. To me, I thought it was my money. The devil said, you are stealing. So God showed me that this money I was using for myself is not my money. Because of that, I missed the rapture. I cried. I didn't have any way to defend myself because everything he said is true. Beware of unconscious sin. I said, what of these other people? He did not talk to me again. He directed me to the crowd. I saw another man of God. I said, why didn't you make the rapture? He said, I don't know. I am unconscious of my sin, unconscious sin. Brethren, I tell you, many of those Christians who do not make the rapture were unconscious of the sin they committed. They never knew what they did at all. They began to ask, did I steal? Did I do this? The answer will come no, but they were unconscious of their sin. I was shocked. Unconscious sin? But I realize anything that begins or ends with sin is sin, whether as conscious sin or unconscious sin. As far as it ends with sin, it is sin. And then I saw another sister. Some people were conscious of their sin, some because of fornication, the world, secret sin. The devil told me some didn't make the rapture because they never served God in truth and sincerity. They were holy outside, they preached the word of God but in sincerity of heart, they weren't serving God. That is why they missed the rapture. I began to cry that who then is qualify? Unconscious sin. Unsincerity. How can you know you are sincere with God or not? I began to cry, God, have mercy. There is no sign of mercy, there is no sign of forgiveness, there is no sign of Jesus, there is no sign of anything. Now, you call on Jesus, he appears, he shows you grace, you ask for mercy, he freely gives you. But that day nothing will show. We say God loves us, God is a God of punishment. I saw darkness, people were being punished. I saw a large crowd and many are young people. Many of them did not make rapture because of dressing. Some of them will dress but will use jewelry. Many of them, the devil said he confused them to have double minds. While they dressed like this, they think they are Christians. They are not Christians. I said to myself, how can devil tell me about Christian? Then I realized that the devil know more than we know. He said, many of them who think they are Christian live a double life. When they are in church, they are holy. When they are outside, they commit sin. Inside their heart, I made them believe that they are Christians. They are not. They will never be a Christian. Many of the people the devil was talking about missed the rapture. I saw youth who goes to church wearing trouser, ladies, singing worldly music, transforming Christian music. I saw them, many. They didn't make rapture because of these. I saw many people, pastors, bishops, general overseas, sisters in church, brothers, all people not qualified missed the rapture. The devil mocked us continually and said, is this the Jesus you served? Is this the Jesus you say you love? His voice was clear. When he was saying this, he will point at us, and as he was saying it, you will see pain and tears on people's face. People who say they love Jesus but in secret sin, lying, not serving God in truth and sincerity, with all the love they have for Jesus. The devil was mocking and laughing. He was so happy. I believe God took me to the future, not that I am special but because he loves me and he loves you and he wants to correct us so that we will not miss rapture. Since the day I had that revelation up to today till Jesus will come, brothers and sisters, I continually work and look at my life. In this revelation, when I woke up, it was around 2 to 3 in the morning. I was wearing a nightgown. The part around my chest was wet with tears. While my spirit was away in the revelation, it was responding to my physical flesh that was on the bed. The canopy I used to cover myself was so hot that it seems I was in a place where I am being boiled or cooked up. I could not talk for about 15 minutes when I woke up. All I could say is Jesus have mercy on me because I thought I was already dead. I have seen it, I have believed it, I am